Duel Review is brought to you by NexusDigitalComics.com.
On today's Duel Review, it's the Indiana Jones
Quadrilogy.
I'm RJ.
And I'm Nick.
Let's get to it.
Welcome to Friday the 24th of August. We are doing the Indiana Jones Quadrilogy.
That's right. Much to my chagrin, we are doing all four of them. So let's get started. 1981 was the first one, Raiders of the Lost Ark. That one, freaking amazing. Blew our minds.
Yeah.
We got a young Harrison Ford and Lucas and Spielberg. Just nothing could go wrong. And actually, it was co-written by Frank Marshall, and George Lucas wrote it. And this is gonna play into a thing that I'm gonna say later on. So just remember that it was co-written, and yeah, it was really great. Karen Allen plays Miriam
right.
Ravenwood, right? And she's the love interest, and she's quite a she's down and dirty. I mean, she gets right in there.
Yeah.
The first scene we see of her, she's drinking herself. Whatever. She's having a drinking contest between like this weird-looking, like Russian dude. Or
yeah, I think the point was that he was, a lot bigger than her and looked like
right. So she's tough as nails, and she's going it alone. She has this, bar way out in the middle of nowhere, and so the Nazis are basically looking for the Lost Ark and for the power that it holds, and yada yada. So we've got this great character, and I didn't look up who played him. I've never seen him before again, but he's the German with the spectacles.
Oh yeah. He definitely plays a great. He does really well.
Yeah,
very sinister.
He's got the poker, the red hot poker, and he's trying to get information out. And she's like, "Okay, I'll tell you." He's like, "I know you will." Kind of a weird. It actually reminds me a little bit of Kiefer Sutherland's.
Yes.
In Dark City.
Right.
But anyway, so he also has this awesome he's a torturer, right? He's been called in to torture people or whatever. So he shows up at a later part in the film, and he takes the 3 bars with the chain in between, and he's what is this maniacal device, like some kind of weird nunchucks or something?
Yeah.
And it's like he puts it into it, and it's a coat hanger.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
that's great.
It's just freaking amazing. Anyway, the attention to detail in this film is so good. It has all those little quirky writing things that you just go, oh, that's brilliant. Things that the later films start dropping off, at least as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
I do love the third one as well, and we'll get to that in just a second. But the first one, what else should we say about the first one? It's just
it's amazing. It's arguably the best one.
Yeah, I think I personally like it the best. A lot of people like Raiders of the Last Crusade the best. Sean Connery does play a great character, and it is a culmination kind of this trilogy. So I can understand that, but I really like the writing and the acting. Harrison Ford is just brand spanking new,
Yeah, and I think what you like, what you were getting to before, is what you like is all those subtle comedy moments, like interspersed between all the action. Suddenly there's just like one little tiny thing, and you just, oh, that's funny. Why did they do that? That was great.
Yeah, it's just a lot of thought went into that, and it's very refined.
This one has like that famous scene with the guy with the sword. He's like, he's like this big guy with all black.
Yeah,
he's like, and then when Harrison Ford looks at him and just shoots him, and then walks away.
And then of course, they reference that in the other movies, like Temple of Doom, the next one, they reference that moment. So they really paid attention to their own scripts, which a lot of trilogies don't do that. A lot of trilogies don't have those little carryover kind of throwaway moments that actually, add up and make it really a rich experience. If you watch them all together like we did, we watched one per night for 4 nights in a row.
Right.
And it really was fantastic. So a great start, really solid film. I don't know, nothing could be better. Even the special effects are a little bit dated, but they work.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. And they do, more wire work. They don't do any of the CG crap, that the fourth one or... anyway, so we'll go on to the next one.
Well, let's real quickly, I wanted to just say pop references. This one has the golden idol and the bag of sand that he has to swap with the giant boulder. This one has the face melting, right? The gun, and what else pop cultural scene is there?
I don't know.
And
I love John Williams' score in this because it's, it does remind me of Star Wars very heavily when you listen to it, but it keeps it lighthearted, and that it's one of those things where Indiana is, he's playing with guns and knives, and it feels like somebody could die at any moment, but the music tells you that it's going to be okay. It's kind of like quirky and whatever, and I don't know, it's just a lot of fun to watch.
Right.
The second one, Temple of Doom. There are a few people who like this one a lot, like their favorite. It is not my favorite. It's probably my least favorite of the three. But
Right.
having said that, there are brilliant moments.
Yes.
I think it's just everybody seems to get bored, and I'm included, with the whole sacrifice scene. Like when it gets to that part, it starts getting a little dry. But
See, I don't know. I think well, okay. The way
Kalima.
the way I see it is, there's a complete movie up until the sacrifice scene, and then there's a tidbit after that that's still interesting, but kind of off key with everything else that's happened. That's the way I see it.
I mean, the first one, again, it was so well rounded. We get the whole lowering him down in the tomb and pretending whatever. They're right next to this other Nazi camp, and it's just like the moment of suspense and whatever. And I don't think that Temple of Doom really has all of it. It has a great, Short Round is great. What's
Everyone
his name?
loves Short Round.
Jonathan.
Data from the Goonies.
Yeah, it's Jonathan. Where's his last name? Jonathan K. Kwan is his name, and I love him in Short Round. I asked you whether you like Short Round or Data better, and you did Data, and most people do, but I think I like Short Round better.
Well, he definitely is funnier as well. I don't know about funnier, but he's definitely more I don't know, fun.
Okay.
I guess I don't know how to say that.
I think it's his relationship with Indy.
Yes.
It's like, oh, you're my best friend. Oh, fun to play with. Just all that stuff in between.
Call him Dr. Jones.
Yeah. Cate Capshaw is the main female protagonist, protagonist, and I'm gonna kind of talk about the females in these four films. The first one, very strong. She's really strong.
Right, you like her.
Very strong. Second one, she is adult, but she's kind of necessary for a lot of the gags, and I have a lot of fun with her. She's just kind of like, you want her to just shut up, stop complaining, but that's exactly what Indy feels too, and I don't know why she really comes along. Like, in the story, she just kind of haphazardly decides to go with him further than she should, so whatever. But just so many great moments of, the elephant and the perfume, and the bugs in the hair, and reaching through the thing, and just there's, I love the statue when they're doing this little cat and mouse, like, oh, you're gonna give in and we're gonna make love or whatever, but Indy gets attacked in his room, and so he doesn't show up to her, and she's expecting him and whatever. So finally, when he does get in there, all he's looking for is like a door in the room, and she's like, I'm right here, what are you doing? And he fondles the statue to get it to open.
Right, the statue is of a woman's bust.
She's like, hey, like right here, I'm right here. So anyway, I just love that. And then later she's like trying to see if there's another door that opens.
And she's fondling another statue's bust.
Yeah, it's just these little tiny throwaway moments that are just so precious to me. They're so funny.
Right.
And the whole dinner scene where they're eating the big beetles and the
they cut open the snake and more
eyeballs.
snakes come out, or eels come out, I think it was.
Well, it's snakes. It's baby snakes.
Oh,
but
okay.
it's just amazing. It's just awesome. All that stuff. Then when they get to the sacrifice, it's a little dry to me. I mean, I don't know. The of course, the roller coaster scene's a lot of fun.
Yes, the roller
wouldn't have
coaster
the rides without it.
Right.
The Universal rides or whatever.
But I've always liked that scene where he digs in and grabs the heart and pulls it out. I thought that was, I don't know, I like that.
I'm just always kind of bored with the whole fire thing, and it's just, I guess there's some unbelievable stuff, like if you're that close to lava, you will be burnt to a crisp, but there's no way you're just going to be okay. Certainly your hair would be, gone, that sort of thing, so just kind of a little suspension of disbelief that I can't quite get to, I guess, I don't know. But it is still a solid film,
Yes.
we're nitpicking classics here. I mean, these are great classic films. Third one, moving right along, I guess.
The Last Crusade.
The Last Crusade, obviously Sean Connery, everybody loves him. He does such a great job, and it's a character that I don't think I've ever seen him play outside of it. It's just, he has this kind of, he's a little unsure, and he's a little bit of a worrywart, and he's a father, and just this love, this great interplay. You can tell they love each other, but they also have kind of a competition thing going. And
his passion for the search of the Holy Grail is just, it's spot on. You know that what he's really, he's really passionate about what he's driving for there. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
he's really good. It's a great actor.
Wonderful story. Again, a lot of little things. We get I guess the Hitler scene is kind of ridiculous.
I like that scene. I thought that was funny.
But just all these things that make it really rich. Now I'm going to talk about the main, woman in that one. I guess before I mention that, we have River Phoenix, which unfortunately, left us shortly after. It's a good role for him though, as a young Indiana Jones in the beginning of the film. Allison Doody is her name. Anyway, she plays Elsa Snyder,
Right.
And she is kind of this, she's a love interest at the beginning. And spoiler alert, I'm sure you guys have mostly seen these movies. If you haven't, go watch them right now.
Spoiler alert, she slept with the father.
Well, she slept with both of them. But the thing I was getting to is she's kind of a turncoat, but she's actually a very weak portrayal of a woman in this film, I think. I think the other two, even though the other one, the one in Temple of Doom, and she's flighty and kind of stupid,
right.
She's still strong. She's still mans up, or whatever you want to say, in when she's really needed. So, there's a lot that she does.
I don't know.
Schneider is just, she's kind of weak. I mean, she throws herself at Indy, and of course later we find out that she's trying to get into, whatever,
right,
to betray him or whatever. But
I don't think that they really gave her an opportunity to really be strong.
That's part of what I'm saying. That's what part of what I'm saying is, she has this moment of conscience, but we don't really, I don't know. She's like, oh, books, you're not supposed to, I'm not here to burn books.
Yeah, she gets really sad with the book burning scene.
I'm still, betraying you to whatever. It's just kind of, it is, I just admire the first two movies on giving weight to the female characters. And the third one, I think, is just kind of roughshod, run over.
Right.
But, I guess that's because Sean Connery needs more spotlight, and there's less story for her to really engage. It was back when, a 3-hour movie was just no-go. They didn't do that for a long time.
Yeah, it had to be too.
So I kind of feel bad for that. But we still get, we get Denholm Elliott, Marcus Brody, he's a great big part of that one.
Right.
Fairly big part.
I think this was
bigger than the other ones.
I think this was his second to last film, or his last film before he passed.
And then a lot of, fun set pieces, of course. They're always good for set pieces. So now, very shortly, let's talk about the fourth one. I guess I was excited when I heard about, 2008. I heard that they were going to make another one. I'm like, hey, cool. Cate Blanchet was in it. She was cast. I love Cate Blanchet. That's pretty much, then it started to go downhill. Because we saw some of the footage. We saw some of the stupid special effects. Watching this film, let me say a little bit and then I'll get to you. Watching this film, there are so many moments that are just like, that is ridiculous. And then it's followed by something that is the most stupid thing you've ever seen. Best instance of this, most people already know this, the nuked fridge scene, right? I think that's just people just say that. In fact, Spielberg says, he like owns it because they used to be like, people would make the comment, jump the shark or whatever from Jaws. Now they say, nuke the fridge. Yeah. And he thinks that's so cool, but it's not cool. We hate it. That's why we're making fun, So Indiana Jones hides from a nuclear blast on a test, test area in a fridge. The fridge gets, whatever, miles away, flipping end over end, lands. He gets out, he's fine. And we're already like, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. And then once he gets out, he turns his head, and there's a little groundhog that just peeks up its head and does the stupid little CG like thing. It's just the stupidest moment, and it just makes me so angry. I want to punch anybody near me. I hate that. And it's there's a lot of these in this film. Every time that something ridiculous happens, something else ridiculous, I don't know if they're trying to, like, subterfuge, you know what I mean? Like look at this, like, I know this was ridiculous, but look at this. I don't know. I don't know what they're trying to do, but it just makes it worse and worse and worse.
Right.
What were you going to say?
I forgot.
Okay.
I guess what I want to say is this had a lot of very ridiculous moments like he was talking about, but some moments are just really cool. Some moments are, it still retains some of that awesomeness that the franchise used to have. It's just so minimal, unfortunately.
Yeah, I guess I jumped the gun. We should have talked about the story. The story basically is that, Indiana Jones, he's accosted by the Russians who want him to lead them to an artifact that's in this big warehouse, kind of Warehouse 13. It's kind of the same, it is the same warehouse that the Ark is and stuff. So they uncover it, and it turns out to be an alien. And the alien has this crystal skull. And already it's like,
Well, okay, at first, it should be mentioned that at first they didn't know it was an alien. They just knew that it was a crystal skull, because I don't know if you know this, but
no,
there are actual crystal skulls in the world.
Oh, yeah, but no, the first scene with the whole thing, and then they cut it open, and it's an alien corpse.
Yeah, the sarcophagus.
This is our problem, actually, is that even if they were going to go with the whole alien thing, like, all the other films have very fantastic things that you have to believe it, or the suspension of disbelief kind of thing. So I can see Aliens being similar, but they outed it right at the beginning. It's just poor storytelling.
Right. Yeah, I guess
there's no mystery. It would have been fine if they made the movie kind of like, well, is it an alien artifact, or is it just made by some process that we don't know of? I don't know, but it still holds power. That would be interesting. But they literally, the entire movie, it is alien, 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 alien. I mean, it's all alien. It's just, and it has this weird, like, it breaks the rules of magnetization, but has it does not make sense. The writing is not well done. It is not solid from scene to scene, moment to moment. Things change. The physics that they make up for the skull, they change from scene to scene. I mean, 1 minute it's attracting every metal near it, and then another minute, it's not.
Yeah, if it's covered with a cloth, it won't.
Even though it was. That's how they originally found it. Was dropped some money and it went into the thing, and they're like, oh, there must be something.
Right.
Oh,
Which
it is.
it was in the sarcophagus, in the plastic bag thingy, in the crate. But it still held.
Yeah, and then later one cloth and it couldn't do it. It's just most ridiculous. So that just does not hold up. And there are so many stupid CG moments. And the end, we were trying to basically look at the film and edit parts out, see if there was a decent film there. Because, yeah, just these stupid moments of exposition that show it that as this stupid magnetic alien thing. If you can cut those out, there's actually some decent character development, some good story there.
Yeah, and
Shia LaBeouf's character might.
Yeah, and I think you brought up a good point. If you watch the movie, right when Mutt comes into frame, that's when it starts to get good, and that's when we started, if we edit out everything before that, it starts to be a good movie. And I like the character. I like the things that they do. One of my favorite scenes is, I don't know about my favorite scene, but one of the scenes that I like a lot is when they're, when they're driving through the library.
Well, I was going to say that the motorcycle scene, the chase, that feels like Indiana Jones.
Right, yeah.
That feels like Indiana Jones.
Especially his little quip right at the end. He's like, if you want to be a good archaeologist, you have to get out of the library. I thought that was good.
Yeah, right. The friggin' fridge stuff does not feel like Indiana Jones.
No.
The stupid magnetized in the air floating cloud of gunpowder. So stupid. There's nothing that strong that would draw that, even though it's really light. I understand it's really light and blah, blah, blah. If it does not draw your belt buckle too, or have any kind of pole, I mean, you'd be able to find it with just like a rod with a magnet at the end, or a gun. You'd be able to like move your gun and feel it pulled. It's just ridiculous. It's the stupidest thing ever. I don't know who thought of that. I feel really bad for Cate Blanchet because pretty much she'd have to be cut out of that movie because most of the scenes that she's in are stupid scenes. Like later when they do the whole mind meld with the skull thing, like they're doing it to Indiana Jones. That's ridiculous. That needs to be cut out. Yeah, I don't know. There is when they show up for the Crystal Skull and they've got like these native peoples that are kind of around, that's kind of goofy, but I would allow that.
Yeah, I would too. That's kind of more Temple of Doom.
The only problem is that if they had kept everybody on wire work, it would have been fine. But they didn't. They had a couple of pure CG characters just in the beginning when they're walking around, like that one on the branch.
Right.
It's just so obviously CG that it just takes me out, and we'd have to cut that out. And then what else would we have to cut out? We'd have to cut out the most of the end.
Yes,
that's the biggest problem, is trying to find an end that works. It's just really unfortunate that they tried to. I don't know if they were trying to make another Star Wars movie or what the hell. I don't understand. They should have watched their own movies before.
Yeah, I agree with that statement completely. I think they should have watched all three before they sat down and decided that they even wanted to do a fourth.
Regardless, it's just one of those missteps that I really wish they hadn't have opened this up. Now, of course, we have rumors. They made fun of it in the actual film itself, but we have rumors that Shia LaBeouf was supposed to do some and whatever. I don't know if that'll ever happen. Apparently, he wants to get out of showbiz now or something. Anyway,
if they do
it's a total cluster fuck.
I like how you stopped before you said it. Like,
there's no other way to say it. It's just screwed up. It's just really sad.
There's some good moments, but it's mostly.
We forgot to show you. I've got the Quadrilogy. And I really I guess I just keep the last one academic, It's like, I'm not going to throw it away, but I don't really want to ever watch it again. It's really bad. There are some fun parts. The car chases are okay, but then they throw in the stupid monkey scene.
Oh, yeah, the monkey scene.
The most ridiculous thing outside of the fridge thing in that movie is these monkeys. Shia LaBeouf, he gets thrown into the jungly whatever. He's on a vine,
the canopy, and he's on a vine,
surrounded by monkeys,
and they're all cool with him.
Yeah, and all the cars have already driven by, so he has to catch up to them. So he starts swinging. Of course, all the monkeys swing with him. Why wouldn't they? You know, it's part of his clan just immediately.
Yep.
There is a fun moment where his hair has got the kind of like weird Elvis-y kind of
curl
over.
The one monkey
and the
has
one
like
monkey has, you know, a Puja monkey has a very similar hair,
Right.
and that's cool, but there's no way we could keep it in if we were editing out all the stupid stuff, because there's no way from him on the vine to him in the truck without the stupid monkeys. And of course the monkeys, you know, they not only do they follow Shia LaBeouf, but they decide to attack the
attackers.
They know
Shia
exactly
LaBeouf.
who to attack, like what the... You know, and there's bad CG crawling all over Cate Blanchet. I feel so bad for her to be in this movie.
Yeah.
I should also mention that Winston is in here. What's his name? He's a great British actor, and he shows up a lot. His character, though, Ray Winston, his character Mac is really... It's like it's supposed to be somebody else that we already are familiar with. Because, like, we have John Rhys Davies in the first, you know, couple films.
Right.
And he does brilliantly. And, you know, we get this kind of, you know...
Maybe he
friend
was...
thing. Well, he is in the third one. No, he's not.
He is in the third one.
He's in the fourth one. He's not in the fourth one.
No, he's not in the fourth one.
But we get this, you know, immediately they're, like, familiar with each other and whatever, and I guess I can buy that. But why, you know, why would they put such a strong character in there and not have any backstory with him? Or... You know, it just seems like it was somebody else's role, but they were like, no, I'm frickin' not doing this.
What I was going to say is that it may have been, who's his face from 1 and 3?
John Rhys Davies.
John Rhys Davies.
Davies.
Thank you. John
He's
Rhys
a great actor.
Davies, Ziz. How do you say that plural? Possessive. Whatever. His role, and then I guess he just didn't do it. So it could have been him, but not.
Possibly.
But then again, they had such a good friendship in 1 and 3 that I couldn't see that happening anyways.
Yeah, I mean, they got, you know, what's her name to reprise her role.
Yeah, the broad from the first one.
Karen Allen as Miriam Ravenwood.
And she does great there.
Yeah, she does fine.
Yeah.
And she's, you know, she turns out to be Mutt's mother and all this stuff. Anyway, so there is some decent fun writing, but it's just done so horribly.
Oh, speaking of writing...
I can't believe that Spielberg... Like, I'm not a huge Spielberg fan. Like, he makes lots of great films. He does. But, from film school, I started seeing that he's definitely borrowed heavily from other directors.
Right.
So I've kind of lost a little bit of respect, but I do solidly enjoy most of his films. This one, I can't believe that he made this. It's so bad. I can believe that Lucas wrote it, you know, after his debacle with,
right, and that's what I wanted to bring up. I wanted to talk about the fact that George Lucas alone wrote it.
Yeah, George Lucas alone wrote... no, he didn't alone write this one. He wrote it with...
oh, I'm sorry.
He wrote it with... The last film, he wrote it with Jeff Nathanson, which I don't know who that is. I couldn't... Yeah, whatever. The reason I wanted to bring that up is because he, like our least favorite, The Temple of Doom, he wrote that one alone.
Ah.
So it feels like he wrote the first one and it was a big hit, and so he's like, okay, I can handle this on my own.
Right.
And so he wrote the second one, and it was good, but it wasn't as good. And so he's like, okay, well, let's bring in somebody else, and they did that. And then he went on to do Star Wars all by himself and whatever. Nobody will say boo to that guy now. It's just like, somebody slap him and say, no, don't do this. It's stupid. It's really stupid. And I wish that they had done this with the director and the writer in this film. It could have been great, I guess. You know, it could have been great.
even with the interdimensional aliens, I think that if they did it right, it could have been okay.
There's so much, mythology. They could have done Greek mythology. They could have done so much stuff, other than friggin' aliens.
Yeah. And 2 out of the 4 movies have been about, crusaders and arcs. But
again, even if it was just hinted that it might be a space artifact or like from some other world, just not so heavily like that's exactly what it is. We see all their skeletons. We see this big stupid spaceship that looks so retro.
Flying saucer.
Our idea of flying saucer. I guess they thought that was cheeky and funny, but it just ended up stupid. It's just this glob of metal that looks like one of those bush caps. What are they called? When you safari caps. Spray painted silver. It's just so stupid. So apparently Spielberg is still he's proud of this film, and so is Lucas. Although Lucas apparently they fight over who was responsible for things like the fridge. And Lucas is like, no, Spielberg, he takes the credit for it, but he's trying to protect me, kind of thing. So Lucas actually knows it's a piece of shit, and he kind of fesses up to it, but I don't know. whatever, dude. I just wish it had been more or not existed at all.
Yeah, I don't.
You know, this just go to show you. If you want another film, maybe not.
Think twice, or get the good writers to do it.
Yeah. Sorry, did I cut you off? You were going to say something.
I don't know. I don't think so.
All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Duel Review, and go watch our playlists. Game Lab is a lot of fun. Fall Over and Moonflower are awesome.
Thank you. And please leave comments. We love comments. And if you'd like to support us at our new location, you can do so by going to spiderwolf.com and buying all of our wares. We have card games and
T-shirts,
T-shirts
short
and
stories.
prints and short stories. And it's all a lot
there'll
of
be a
fun.
lot more to come. You know, we moved into this location so that we could branch out and try new things. So we'll look forward to that. We'll let you know for sure. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. I got a dud.
What do you got?
Next week, it's Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe. My kingdom for a squeakless chair. I have no kingdom. On today's Duel Review, it's The Lord of the Rings. No.
What?
It just came out. There's two of them with like the last, right? The Last Crusade and the
No.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Right. Last and lost.
On today's Duel Review, it's the Indiana Jones.
Quadrilogy.
I'm RJ.
And I'm Nick.
Let's get to it. I can't say quadrilogy. Quadrilogy. On today's Duel Review, the Quadrilogy.
Quadrilogy. The Indiana Jones Quadrilogy.
The quad. Wait, what's your quad muscle? In your leg. Where's your quad muscle?
I believe it's in your leg.
You're a quad. Drill.
OG.
Oh, gee. Alright, let's go.
Hi and welcome to Duel Review. It's Friday the 24th of August.
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 Why isn't anything coming out? What did you do?
I think I shot them all.
You broke them.